Rethink Possible. And by Ford, proud sponsor of your Chicago White Sox. Check out America's freshest lineup of fuel-efficient vehicles at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Tonight, looking for his first win in June after going 3-0 in May. Before the game, Robin Ventura was asked if he notices a difference in his ace this year versus last year.
When you're not scoring very much, it puts different pressures on him, and that comes with being young and knowing kind of his position on our team and who he is. I think that makes it a little different for him this year than it was last year. So it's still a learning process to a degree. I mean, you know he's a good pitcher and is going to be a good pitcher for a long time. It's just it's tough sometimes when you're the one always expected to kind of turn it around.
We'll be back with lineups and tonight's first pitch after these messages. for the most live sports. Tonight's game's available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting. It's provided by 97.5 FM ESPN Deportes, Chicago's first and only FM Spanish language sports radio station. So on an overcast night at 73 degrees, let's take a look at how the Mets are going to line it up tonight. Eric Young recently acquired leading off, and it's Valdespin, Wright, Bird, Satin, Buck, Brown, Juan Lagares, and Omar Quintanilla. The White Sox defense is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. It's Viciedo, Diaz, and Rios left to right with Gillespie, Ramirez, Beckham, and Dunn. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate, and Chris Sale is on the hill. Sale just 5-6 this year, but it's largely lack of support. His ERA is sparkling 2.69. He's on for the 14th time. Opponents hitting a paltry 2.03 against him, and he's facing a fairly light-hitting Mets team. The umpires for the game tonight: Ron Culpa behind the plate, Tom Hallion is at first, Phil Cuzzi is at second, and Chris Guccione is at third. So Tyler Flowers firing it down to second base. The start of a homestand, and with 43 games played on the road and only 30 at home, it's time to make up some ground. So Terry Collins has got a very young New York Met team, a banged up team, and we'll see how they fare this evening. So we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Stevie. Thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here with WGN Sports on the U. So happy you could join us for the first of this two-game set. So here's Eric Young, 28-year-old switch hitter, playing left field tonight. He comes in hitting at .364, no homers and 5 driven in.
He will bunt both directions. He'll push it, in this case, to first base. He will lay it up the line at third base, so you have to play him close to the corners.
And our 24-year-old southpaw's first pitch of the ball game, taken for a strike. Mets come in hitting at .229 as a club with a 4.02 ERA. They played better on the road than they have at home. They're 16-19 on the road, 14-23 at home. But lately, well, they've been playing better. Last 9 games are 6-3. So far this year, they played 8 interleague games, and they're 7-1 with that sweep of the Yankees. That ball is hammered. So that will be the leadoff double. It's his 13th two-bagger.
They got Young from Colorado for a soft-tossing pitcher, and Young is taking advantage of his opportunity. He's got great speed, and so you have to give him a couple of looks out at second base. You see Gillespie well off the line, and this ball hammered down the line.
So here's Yordany Valdespin, the second baseman, hitting at .207, 4 homers, 16 knocked in.
You would think lefty to lefty, he's going to be bunting, especially with David Wright in the on-deck circle.
Takes the bunt, takes a strike on a breaking ball. Looking down at little Timmy Tuffle, third base coach. You remember him with the Minnesota Twins. So once again, the corner's in close. Can't get that one, in the count 0-2.
And I think the lights just, some of them went out, and you could see it distinctly around home plate. Now the question is, Ron Culpa looking up, as is Tom Hallion. Are they going to wait and wait for those lights to kick back on, or do they think the visibility is good enough now? As you can see, about half the bank has gone out.
Well, we have had a lot of storms in the area and some very, very high winds. And we're having some very loud lightning. Some of the players, Alexei, he's coming off the field.
Well, apparently, as he knows,
so he took his jewelry off.
Thunder is preceded by lightning, and he doesn't want to be a human lightning rod.
Well, I don't blame him. I've seen what he can do up close and personal. When you're a kid, you think you're invisible and it won't touch you until you see something as you get a little older where it did touch somebody and did us damage. We understand it's going to be like this all night. There's a lot of different little cells all over the place. I know last night down in Granger they had up to 80-mile-an-hour winds.
And there's Tom Hallion talking it over with Terry Collins, and the lightning is in the area. The question then becomes, with visibility, and if you're Terry Collins, what you want is you want Chris Sale to stand on the mound not doing anything for a while. You just as soon not start this with any kind of limited visibility at all. I think that's probably what he's telling Tom Hallion. It's not that you can't see the ball, it's just that if you have your choice, why not freeze Chris Sale?
Well, now another visit over to Robin.
Now, Robin's point of view would be, look, the visibility is still good enough. Let's play it.
And now another meeting with Ron Kulpa. So he says, let's go. There are some players in years past that would have been up in that clubhouse already.
I played with one who played for the Giants named Jim Ray Hart. First sign of lightning, he was gone, never to return to the field.
So 0-2 the count to Valdespin. Lays off that breaking ball. Outfield for the most part straight up. He gone. One out. And that'll bring up the face of the franchise, David Wright, 30-year-old third baseman, hitting at .309, 12 homers, 41 knocked in.
And you do have an open base, and even with Marlon Byrd actually swinging the bat a little bit better, you wonder why guys throw to David Wright at all. There's not a whole lot of protection behind him. And with Ike Davis in the minor leagues and not able to hit at this point, he has very little protection on a daily basis.
Takes it down low.
Wright, a notorious fastball hitter early in the count, and he's got good power to all fields. 6-game hitting streak. He's been hitting everything in sight at .429.
And that's going to be a souvenir. I hate the intentional walk. Always have and always will. But there are certain times, because that's why they call it the intentional walk.
I don't mind pitching around him with a veteran pitcher.
Good try right there. Didn't get it.
Got a backdoor breaking ball. Ron Kulpa correctly said it did not catch the corner.
Yeah, nice change. And him way out in front.
This ball off a corner. A very good pitch, especially when you haven't seen a guy. There's only one guy on this team that's seen Chris Sale, and that's a man standing at second base, Eric Young.
Lays off that breaking ball. So a full count.
See if Chris goes back to that straight change. Keeps it out away. It's Marlon Byrd waiting in the on-deck circle.
So if it comes with a fastball, it's got to be up. Up on top of the zone. As there's the change.
The scouting report on David Wright said he will swing at fastballs higher than high.
And once again, the payoff pitch. So 2 on 1 out, and that'll bring up Byrd, who has been swinging the bat a lot better. He's hitting at .263, 11 homers and 35 knocked in. Marlon, a .278 career hitter. There it goes. They go to first base. Don't get him. So Young steals third. That's his 9th stolen base.
Only one look back at second, and that was enough for Young to take off. That's a play by Tyler Flowers. Knowing he had no play at third at all, figures maybe on a secondary lead he'd have a shot behind David Wright. But he couldn't get him, and Wright's another guy that will take off if you don't pay a great deal of attention to him.
Short lead by Wright, who was 12 for 13 in stolen bases. And that ball's popped up. Alex, he's in good shape. Young, here he's come. He's going to make him throw him out. And he's safe. From short, right center field.
Most of the game of Eric Young is based on speed. And this one bounces twice, and that's all it took for Young to dive behind Tyler Flowers and score the first run of the game.
So here is Josh Satin. There goes Wright. And he's safe.
He decided to run on first move. Tyler Flowers made it pretty close at second base, but not quite close enough. 13 of 14 now for Wright. 2 stolen bases this inning. And they largely have been stolen on Chris Sale. Very close at second. Phil Cuzzy said he got in before the tag.
And as a base hit, so the 2 stolen bases are going to pay off for him as a 2-0 Met lead. Gordon was going back to his left, lost his footing just for enough to let that ball get by in the center field.
Second run batted in for Satin. He takes it right by Chris on the arm side. And with a heavy footing in the infield, no chance to get it up the middle. Buck has some pretty big power,
especially earlier in the season. He can hit you out anywhere. And that's 50 stolen bases against us this year. Got him, but a double, a walk, 2 stolen bases that just hurt, and it's 2-0 Mets.
It's Alejandro Diaz, Alexei Ramirez, Alex Rios, Adam Dunn, Diane Viciedo on an 8-game hitting streak. Connor Gillespie, Jeff Keppinger, Gordon Beckham, and Tyler Flowers rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Zach Wheeler. Young, Lagares, and Bird in the outfield with Wright, Quintanilla, Valdespin, Satin, and Buck behind the plate. Zach Wheeler on a hill. That's his major league debut. 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, but no runs in 6 innings against Atlanta. They swept a doubleheader with Matt Harvey winning game 1 and Zach Wheeler winning game 2. And slowly, although the rain is falling, the good news is the lights are coming back on.
And also, we're just in the tail end of a little cell here. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As here's Diaz as he takes first pitch. That one at 97 from the 6'4", 185-pound right-hander out of Dallas, Georgia. Zach Wheeler, breaking ball.
He's got a terrific over-the-top curveball, but he prefers his slider, which is late breaking and quick. All in all, although not as polished as Matt Harvey, he's got a chance to be pretty good.
Well, Matt Harvey's the best we've seen this year.
Against us, he was as close to perfect as you could be.
Well, I just don't think we're going to see anybody better.
Not than he was that day. And overall this year, he's been fantastic.
Two and two. Three balls, 2 strikes. Two Mets, 2-0 Mets. Two Mets with stolen bases. Both of them scored. There, he just ate him up, and that's going to be a lot of trouble there. So that's going to be the base hit.
Not much you can do with this one. Valdespin can't get to it. Wheeler couldn't get it. Even if he does pick it up bare hand, he's not going to be able to get Diaz at first base. So nice start to the first inning.
And here's Alexei. Well, Wheeler knew what was going to happen. If he didn't get it, he tried. He just couldn't get there. Well, just watching him now for 7 pitches, looks like you're going to have to beat him on his fastball. And we're not the only club around. We just don't have a whole bunch of good breaking ball hitters on our team. And there's a lot of other teams in the same situation.
Wheeler, the first member of the Met organization to make it to the major leagues, who was born in the 90s.
There he goes. But nope. So we pick up one. That's his 8th in 12 attempts.
Not a particularly good throw, but Wheeler very slow to home plate. He's a little above major league average. They've got him timed at 1.34 seconds, 1.3 major league average.
1-2. Breaking ball, just didn't get a piece of it. We might just get lucky here. There's a huge cell south of us, and it's going to stay there, it looks like. That's foul back right underneath Steve. How about those Blackhawks? Mercy. What a season.
What a game last night. Thinking you're heading to game 7 with 1:16 left, only to see 2 goals in 17 seconds. Phenomenal.
That's low. I fell asleep. It was 2-1 Bruins.
Here's a couple of fans certainly enjoying the second cup in 4 years. And congratulations to John McDonough and everybody associated with that front office that helped reassemble that team.
And Rocky, they'll get the job done. So Diaz in the 3rd, and that'll bring up Rios. So with 1 out, let's check out our picks to click. Jim Angio, our director and the crew, went with Alexei. Steve's going with Connor. And Joe Simmons, Martha Black, and Beth Grabowski and I. We're going to go with Diaz, who's standing on 3rd base.
Terry Collins has got the infield back. In the first inning, he's going to concede the run.
Alex at 284, 11 homers, and 34 knocked in. This is the first pitch that I'm going to show you the sequence. Watch this one. That ball had a lot of movement for coming in there at that speed. And he just looks to home. So Diaz scores, and it's a 2-1 ball game. When he hit it, I thought he was coming home.
RBI number 35, and it looked like he had a shot, but not wanting to open the door for a big inning, he takes the out at first base.
And here's Adams. 193, 20 homers, 48 driven in. Tigers leading the Angels 2-1, fourth inning in Detroit. And there's the strike.
That's the first run given up in the major league career of Zach Wheeler.
And as we speak, Angels have just tied it up. Porcello on the bump against C.J. Wilson. Cabrera, who else? A 2-run homer.
He's driven in 77. 77, and we're still
in June.
2.5 weeks away from the All-Star game.
We are still in June. Good rip. And a full count.
Two hitting streaks, one in the batter's box and one in the on-deck circle.
And there's ball 4. Well, besides the run, that's the bonus. It's going to be a good inning because he's throwing a lot of pitches.
He'll be delivering pitch number 23 to Viciedo, who's got an 8-game hitting streak.
A bullet caught. That's a hang woofum for Viciedo. But we come up with one, and after one, it is 2-1 Mets. Tail of the tape. It'll be the lower third of the Met order. Brown, Lagares, and Quintanilla. There are the numbers on Andrew. 4 for 18. A couple of homers. That one at 96. And the count 1-1. First of 2 against these guys. Ball and 2 strikes. Just did get a piece of it.
And the Mets, before they go home to play Washington, they have to fly out to Colorado for a night game on Thursday.
He gone. Yeah. Third strikeout for Chris. And a reminder, 2013 flexible ticket plans include the Sox Pick 7 and Pick 14 plans. You select the games you want, including great matchups, promotions, and giveaways. So, WhiteSox.com or 312-674-1000 for tickets. Well, I'll tell you, we have some nice promotions coming up for that Baltimore series. As Lagares fouls that change up back.
Well, I know you're going to be able to eat well in that series.
Oh, how about that? $1 hot dogs. That's foul back. And prices start, look at that, $7. Discounted food, $1 hot dogs. Here you go. Hook. Grab some bench. 2 down.
Lagares had absolutely no chance as that one started over the left-handed batter's box and just snapped over the middle of the plate. And Chris is getting that one over. The right-handers are in big trouble. Left-handers are always in big trouble against him.
But in that Baltimore series on July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, on the 2nd, those specially priced tickets. On the 3rd, specially priced tickets. And on the 4th, specially priced tickets. And all those games going to be $1 hot dog nights. Plus on the 3rd, Independence Day fireworks sponsored by First Merit Bank. That's going to be an 18-minute fireworks show. In 18 minutes. That is a nice fireworks show. Breaking ball strike. Well, we're going to have the $1 hot dogs, the $2 popcorn buckets, $2 popcorn megaphones,
$4 hamburgers. That's what I'm interested in.
That breaking ball softly hit and caught, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning after an inning and a half. 2-1 bad guys. TV.com, sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide insurance agent serving the area for over 34 years. To join the nation, visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Gillespie, Keppinger, Beckham to face the 23-year-old Zach Wheeler. Takes that fastball upstairs. Also, I talked with Jake before the game, and his Jake Peavy and friends step up to end cancer at Joe's Bar, Chicago, where a lot of his buddies and celebrities came out and put on a good show, and it was very successful. Raised right at $100,000 for cancer research. Artists include Channing Wilson, Tyler Reeve, Adam Craig, Cole Swindell, Stevie Montz, Billy Joel, Tyler Hamilton, Brushfire Band. As that's popped up, get out of here. David Wright is there and makes a nice catch.
Good concentration on the part of Wright because he was going over toward the stands and the tarp. But he was able to stay right with it, locating it all the way. He checks exactly where he is and makes the catch.
So here's Keppinger, 232 homer and 19 knocked in. Also, event sponsors who donated to the live auction and raffle: Joe's Bar, Strikeouts for Troops, CSN Chicago, Pop Chips, Truth Records LLC. That's upstairs. Magellan Corporation, RGT Capital Management, Phillips Chevrolet, Bird Dog Jets, of course our Chicago White Sox, Miller Lite, Houndstooth Saloon, Fireball Whiskey, UV Vodka. That's the strike. Auctions by Cellular, $6.70 the score. Hotel Palomar Chicago, Lojo Sports, Crown Royal, Sony, Nike, and Fender. Thank you so much to help make that event successful. 1-2.
We saw Wheeler break out the straight change in the Gillespie at bat, and a straight change is 88 miles an hour. It's harder than a lot of guys' fastball.
Took that pitch nicely to go full. Beckham on deck. 2-2-0 for them. 1-1-0 for us.
Wheeler does not yet have any kind of command of that fastball.
That ball right at Marlon Byrd. Fighting the lights, makes the catch. 2 down. Well, he did not have command of that fastball through the first 3 innings against Atlanta.
Yeah, not with the 5 walks. But he was able in that one to wend his way out of it. One of the reasons why the Braves had just seen and been depressed by Matt Harvey, and 2, that's a team that strikes out an awful lot.
Here's Beckham. Gordon's been hitting the ball harder than anybody we got. He's been barreling it up almost every at bat. And not showing that much for it. As that ball hit deep into right field. Bird back, right in front of the track now. And that'll retire the side. 1-2-3 inning, and it's 2-1 New York. And right. Young led off the ball game with a double down into the left field corner. In with one out. Stole third base. And scored on a short sacrifice fly to short right center.
And they're in at the corners trying to take away a bunt, which is something he does with regularity. Good straight change first pitch. Squared as if to bunt that time, but took a backdoor breaking ball away.
And another one. Another change. He gone.
Well,
so three of them.
Yeah, if it keeps on working, keep on throwing it. Strikeout number 5. An at bat filled with straight changes.
Valdez being struck out his first trip.
Southpaw delighting the kids.
Takes first pitch strike. Ought to seem a little upset with himself on not pulling the trigger on that fastball. First of 2 with these guys and first of 9 on this homestand. 2 with them. Got a pretty good breaking ball to hit right there and couldn't do anything with it. 4 with Cleveland. Doubleheader on Friday.
That doubleheader starts at 4 o'clock and will run continuously. There'll be a break anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes between games, but it's not a split doubleheader.
Get over there. Got him. But the second game will not, regardless of how quick, which is not a good chance, but second game will not start before 7. And the way we've been playing, the games we've been playing, that's a slim chance.
There is no chance of starting it before 7. But Cleveland been playing pretty good baseball. They're 39 and 36, tied with Baltimore at 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th in Baltimore.
So here's Wright. He had first base open and they walked him on a 3-2 pitch. Then he stole. That's the reason I hate for walks like that. Stole second and he scored on a base hit. Takes a breaking ball.
They extended his contract. He's got an 8-year deal worth $138 million.
He's a good player. He gone. 6 strikeouts. 7 in a row retired by Chris. And we trail it 2-1.
since their inaugural season in 1962. The Polo Grounds was home to the New York Giants before they left for San Francisco, and then hosted the Mets for 2 seasons. Shea Stadium was the site of 4 World Series for the Metropolitans during their 45-year residency. The Mets won world championships in 1969 and 1986, losing in 1973 and 2000. Citi Field opened in 2009, and it'll host the All-Star Game next month. This is brought to you by Xfinity Home. Get peace of mind with Xfinity Home, the total home security and home control solution that keeps you more connected to what matters most.
1-1 to count to Tyler Flowers. Tyler at .215, 6 homers, 17 knocked in. That ball hit deep. He goes back, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. Yes. And this game is tied at 2.
Seventh home run. Tyler's now driven in 18. And this is a curveball that doesn't do anything. This hangs right in the middle of the plate. He takes it out in left center field. Lagares runs out of room. And just like that, a brand new ball game.
And here's Diaza. Had an infield single, a stolen base, and a run scored in the first. Takes that fastball at 95. Of course, with that home run by Flowers, Alex Nelius family will donate a nice donation to White Sox charities in loving memory of Ursula.
So a night of first for Zach Wheeler. The first run he's given up coming in the first inning. First home run he's given up coming here leading off the third.
Good rip at that one. That one at 97. Totals on the board identical if you're just tuning in at 2-2-0. Lays off of it. Two balls, 2 strikes. Nice play right there.
Well, that was
Satin.
Outstanding effort, because that took a most unusual hop right at the end. And he's filling it at first base because Ike Davis is down in the minor leagues. And Satin moves to his left. This one takes a high hop. He's able to stay right with it and make the play.
Only because he had the glove down. Which way? Look where this glove is. How low. You can come up, but you can't go down on him. Here's Alexei. He got the job done with Diaza on second base. Nobody out. He had a chopper up the middle and was thrown out by the shortstop, with Alejandro moving into third. That slider low and away. Close pitch goes Wheeler's way.
Ron Culpa said that ball did hit in the dirt. John Buck was trying to sell it as hanging on to a foul tip. Didn't work out that way.
And a full count.
This is going to be pitch number 50 for young Zach Wheeler.
And that's foul straight back.
When you're a hard-throwing youngster without the ability to command that fastball, you're going to pile up the pitches. Consequently, it'll lead to short outings.
And that's way high and wide for the base on balls. Second one he has issued, and that'll bring up Rios, who grounded out to third, and that knocked in Diaza. Alex picking up RBI number 35.
You figure Ramirez to be running somewhere early in this sequence. He swept 16 bags, been caught just 3 times. Wheeler not the quickest we've seen to home plate.
Gap out there in left center. There he goes. You get a Lance Johnson jump.
Here's an example of a youngster not even looking at first base. You can bob your head, but it would help you if you were looking at the base runner.
One out, 1-1 to count. Ground ball right side. 2 down. That'll bring up Adam. He walked back in the first inning. Pick him up, Biggin. He got the shift on. Two infielders way back out there on the grass. Little ground ball. Left side's probably going to get the job done. And the count 2-0. Right there for the strike.
Outfield, as you would expect, very deep all the way around. But they're playing him just a touch as an opposite field hitter.
That ball hit high and deep, but back at the fence, he's there and hauls it in. So we threaten, can't score, and we're still tied at 2. Marlon Byrd will lead it off here in the top of the fourth in this 2-2 tie. Byrd had a little short sacrifice fly. Takes a breaking ball strike. Off the end of the bat, and it's foul. 0-2 the count.
Marlon Byrd, another one of those guys that will swing at that higher than high fastball, especially if it's tantalizing enough to look like it was once in the strike zone.
And here's that sacrifice fly. You see how short Alex was right here. Here's a throw now that he may have wanted to go all the way in the air instead of one hop it, because a hop can, you can see it hop twice, and on the first hop it sort of grabbed it against the grain, because that's foul. Overthrowing somebody right there wouldn't have meant anything. He gone. Pull a string on him. 7 strikeouts for Chris. Post-game traffic? No. Party at Bacardi at the Park? Yeah. Open after every home game here at US Cellular Field at the Gate 5 Plaza. Bacardi at the Park. Good place to go. Grab your friends. Go over there and give them a visit. Ask for Sil Process. Vasilios. Sil Process. Satin had that RBI single knocking in right. Who had walked. Stolen second. Change up strike.
A very good chance that Mike Davis, who was sent down the minor leagues and is hitting very well, will be called back after these next couple of games. The Mets were facing 3 left-handers in a row, and they didn't want to bring Davis back to face those lefties. But it was a surprise when they sent him down. He seems to have worked out his difficulties, and he will be back in the not too distant future.
Here you go. 8 punch outs. I think he was just player of the week down there.
Another good straight change, and obviously these Mets were not all that aware of the good Sale straight change, because that's what he's using almost exclusively tonight.
Fouls that one back. Mike Davis was named the Pacific Coast League Player of the Week for the week ending on June 24th. 4 home runs, 7 RBIs in that week. There's a good strike. Buck caught looking his first trip. 32-year-old receiver. He gone. 9 strikeouts. He's retired 10 in a row, and we're tied at 2.
www.wgntv.com and click on to the Game Zone banner for updated stats and information. The Game Zone is powered by St. Xavier University. Success with purpose. Log on to www.sxu.edu to check out undergrad and graduate degree options.
It's the bottom of the fourth in this 2-2 tie. Viciato, Gillespie, Keppinger. Tank 0 for 1. He hit a rocket to the second baseman. I mean, that was a definite hang woofer. First pitch strike.
Took a little something off that fastball to get it over the plate.
Breaking ball, no. That evens a count at 1.
Well, the example of getting Zach Wheeler from San Francisco is exactly what general managers from teams that aren't going to get there are going through right now, because they traded Carlos Beltran to the Giants.
Chopper to Hopper.
And in trading Beltran to the Giants, they got one of their top prospects in Wheeler, who was a 6th pick in the draft a couple of years ago. And now he's a major league pitcher to go along with Matt Harvey. 40% of what will be the Mets' hope, a very good starting rotation for them.
So here's Gillespie. Fouled out to right, who made a nice catch. That ball high and deep into right center field. Back on the track. That wind is knocking that ball down. It knocked down Duns, and it actually knocked down the homer by Tyler Flowers. He hit that ball better than that. It died when it got out there, but it still just made it over. So here's Keppinger. He lined out to Marlon Byrd.
You can understand where these Mets would certainly not want to have any more games rained out. They've had 6 of them either rained or snowed out to this point.
Well, Roger Bossler told me prior to the game that this is the most rain in history here in Chicago at this point in time for one 6-month period.
Well, it seems like most of it is when we were in town.
Seems like all of it was when we were in town. I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it. All the years that I've been here, I've never seen anything like it. And it's been bad for the last, actually, this is the 5th straight year that it's been bad, but this is by far the worst.
Well, we consider at this point the schedule makers have seen fit to keep us on the road for 43 games with only 30 at home. So with that kind of schedule, and realizing that eventually it's going to be 81 and 81 any way you look at it, there should be plenty of chances to take advantage of the home cooking. This team over 500 here at U.S. Cellular Field, and plenty of home games remain.
Full count. Beckham on deck. Protecting on a pitch that was outside the zone.
Keppinger with just 6 walks and 221 at bats. So most likely he's going to be swinging if it's close. There was another one well out of the zone. The Angels are clobbering Detroit 10-2. That game in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Another one outside the zone.
Well, 3 pitches well outside the zone for ball 4. 3 fouled off.
And the 9th pitch is fouled back again. And this one not playable.
Well, there's been 9 pitches. There's been 1 strike, or 1 in the strike zone, although the count stays at 3-2. And there you look at the Xfinity pitch tracks. So Wheeler is trying to walk him. At this point, he just hasn't walked.
And there's a chopper right over the top. And that'll retire the side. That's the 1-2-3 inning. We're into the 5th, tied at 2. Brown, Lagares, and Quintanilla. That ball hit deep into right center field.
First
and it's
ball,
a 3-2 Met lead.
First ball fastball, and Andrew Brown jumped all over it. He was a strikeout victim to lead off the 2nd inning. And that is 3rd home run of the year, his 4th run driven in. And just like that, the tie game is untied. A low fastball. Brown drills it.
Lagares struck out, called out on a curveball. The Mets with 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 stolen bases in the 1st inning, jumped up and bit us. Ate him up. High throw, but gets down in time. Sox fans, on Friday, July 19th at 7:10, as our Sox take on the Braves. First 20,000 fans ages 21 and over will receive a White Sox Miller Lite beverage wrap presented by Miller Lite. Miller Lite, the official beer of your Chicago White Sox. So, WhiteSox.com or 866 Sox game. Quintanilla popped up softly to Alexei at short.
Quintanilla playing because they're fresh out of right-hand hitting shortstops. And we want to send congratulations to Don Herbert and the Edgebrook White Sox on getting the playoffs with a perfect 13-0 record. They're led by Alex Tianis, the son of Demetrius Jim Tianis. Alex better.
Nice going.
He better
Greek.
start to hit because Dad needs him to get a scholarship.
It would help.
Especially by the time he's ready to go to college.
Yes, he did. Full count. Get over there. Good feed. 2 down. That home run by Brown broke a streak of 10 consecutive retired by Chris. And if you're just tuning in, he's given up the 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts.
And after the run to first, Tyler Flowers goes out to the mound to give Chris a breather. He had fanned at least 2 in every one of the first 4 innings, 3 in the 4th, but nobody so far here in the 5th.
Here's Young. He doubled to lead off the ball game. Stole third. Scored on it. A little soft sacrifice fly. Breaking ball strike. Oh, you got plenty of time. There you go. All right, but the leadoff homer by Andrew Brown. We're halfway home, trailing 3-2. Billy Pierce is going to have a Billy Pierce statue replica giveaway. That'll be on Saturday afternoon. That's a 3:10 start. Billy Pierce. Billy Pierce had a good curveball.
Well, not only was he a terrific pitcher, but he's a wonderful man who's been phenomenally active as far as charities go. So it's nice that they're going to give away replica statues. Couldn't do it for a better guy.
No, they could not. Can't do more than Billy Pierce has done to help me raise money for the charities. As the count 2-1 to Beckham. Seems like he never says no. He's always there. Three-two Mets here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Drops the hook on him.
That's one of the few curveballs he's gotten over the plate, and if he starts to get that over the plate, he becomes doubly tough.
Well, this is about when he locked in on his control against the Braves in his first start.
Most of the time he's gotten under his fastball, and at 6'4", when you get under the fastball, it can do nothing else but stay up and out of the zone.
That one at 96. Gordon just fights it off. Gordon went out deep to right field, taking Bird back right to the edge of the track.
Here's a home run hitter. Tyler Flowers hit his 7th leading off the third inning.
And long way for everybody to go, and they can't get there. First of 2 against these Metropolitans. Finale tomorrow night. Johnny Danks against Sean Markham. Make your plans to be with us here at the ballpark. And an off day on Thursday, then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But there's another ball. That breaking ball hit hard. Get by it. He'll have to pull up. A good job right there. And the speed of Eric Young saved extra bases.
That curveball didn't break sharply. It came up rolling. Just pretty much a get-me-over curveball, and Young cut across and made the play. But that's a tying run with nobody out, standing at first base.
So here's Tyler. He got a hanger from Wheeler and didn't miss it. Short lead by Gordon. And Tyler takes ball 1.
Leading off the third, that one just rolled right in the middle of the plate. And a line drive out of the park. Our 4 drive of the game.
Tyler didn't like the call.
Pretty good pitch.
And the count 1-1. A little bigger lead now by Gordon.
The outside talker with Wheeler said he's arm side as far as strength is concerned, meaning he's going to stay inside to the right-handers, outside to the lefties. So especially early in the count, give him middle out and look middle in. That, of course, isn't on his curveball or slider. I'm just talking fastball.
First and third in, Tyler. There you go. Safe. Gordon picks up his third stolen base.
Combination of Wheeler and Buck not proven to be all that effective in shutting down the running game. That time Quintanilla can't come up with it, but the throw is on the third base side. And his noted manager and fine catcher Mike Scioscia told me there are no outs on the third base side of second on a stolen base.
1-2. And that got him. So the first 2 men aboard. And here's Diaza. And an infield single, and he's grounded out to first.
Dan Warthen is coming out to have a word with him.
Thrown 84 pitches. And a reminder, organize a group outing of 20 or more for a Sox game during the season and receive savings off the individual game ticket price. Enhance your outing by upgrading to our new Miller Lite Bullpen Party Porch, pregame patio party, Diamond Suite, or one of our other great party areas. 312-674-1000 or visit WhiteSox.com. That's the Bertucci boys. Domain, Javi Bruno, and Handsome Anthony. Right in on the grass at third. The outfielder short, swung around to the left. Satin. Ball gets by, so that will advance them both.
Not exactly what Dan Warthen had in mind when he went out to talk with Wheeler. It does go as a wild pitch. And Buck tried to backhand it instead of moving the body. When you do that, if you don't catch it, and most of the time you won't, there's nothing stopping it from going to the screen.
So now second and short back. Right, still on the grass. And Satin in a little more than halfway. Don't help him out. It's way out of the zone. Alejandro with 37 RBIs. He's second on the club. There's a broken bat, but he's going to get one in and one over, and it's a tie ball game.
So the wild pitch certainly helps. It's 38 driven in, and once again a brand new game, tied at 3. But this forces the infield to come in at all 4 positions with the go-ahead run 90 feet away.
Alexei is grounded to short, walked, then also picked up a stolen base, as that'll get the job done. As Bird going to give it a shot. And Sox lead at 4-3.
Pretty good throw by Marlon Byrd, making it a whole lot closer than it appeared when it left the bat. But the sacrifice fly gives our boys the lead for the first time tonight. Tyler in just ahead of the tag.
Boy, I tell you, that's a dangerous slide right there. Whew. Catch that bottom spike and bam, bam. You get yourself a dislocated ankle.
Carlos Torres loosening up in the bullpen. That's the third sacrifice fly of the year for Alexi.
Big gap out there in left center. Four runs on 3 hits, no errors for our guys. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors for their guys. Beckham started it off with that line shot single in the left center. Oops. We're into the 6th, leading 4-3. Inning, it'll be Valdespin, right, and Marlon Byrd to face Chris Sale.
Nice sign right there. 2 Stanley Cups, but the start of a long association with our Sox.
Boy, Rocky and John have done some kind of job over there. Unbelievable. Those guys are fun to watch. 0-2 the count. Valdespin has struck out, grounded out 3-1.
Well, when you bring in the Bowmans, you get 2 for the price of 1. Stan's been great. Scotty, probably as good a hockey man and as good a coach and evaluator as in any sport ever. 13 Stanley Cups.
He gone. 10 strikeouts now for Chris Sale.
Wanted the high heat. He got it and got the call.
Scotty is a good guy. Knowing him, I met him a long time ago.
He's a great baseball fan.
He's a great guy.
Baseball fan.
Great guy. Double digits in strikeouts, third time this season. David has walked, stole a base and scored, and also struck out. Called out on a good fastball back in the third inning.
In the course of his career, David Wright has been a terrific player.
Yes, he did. He knew it. He gone. They don't give you $130-something million for being a nice guy.
No, and they know they've got a huge rebuilding situation ahead of them. Not a whole lot of position players, and Wright goes down on strikes for the second time tonight.
Here's Marlon Byrd, that little short sacrifice fly and a strikeout, swinging on a changeup. Can't get that changeup. And once again, a reminder: make your plans to be with us for that July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th series against Baltimore. Discounted tickets on the 3rd, an 18-minute fireworks show, and $1 hot dogs. $1 hot dogs for that entire series. He gone. Strikes out the side. 12 punch outs, and he leads it 4-3. And Michigan City Youth Baseball. LaPorte Chevrolet and the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana dealers are helping over 30,000 young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program. Since 2010, the Chicago area Chevy dealers have been providing local youth leagues with equipment kits, instructional clinics, and much needed financial support. So once again, from the big leagues to the youth league, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball. Adam Dunn to lead it off. He has walked and gone out deep to left center. Takes first pitch strike. 4 runs on just 3 hits for us, 3 runs on 3 hits for them. There's a shot. Schiff won't get that one. So the big man's going to make the turn. And he will cruise into second with his 7th two-bagger and extend his hitting streak to 6 games.
Wheeler's got a lot of work to do with that straight change, because right now there's not enough disparity between the straight change and his fastball. That one at 87, it's right down the middle, and Adam just waits back, not fooled at all by either the velocity or the release point.
So Tank's got a job to do. He's 0 for 2. He has ripped one, a line shot right to the second baseman, and also grounded out to short. Watch out. Count evens at 1. That'll get the job done. No, man, he's going to tag and go into third, but what a catch by Bird. Mercy.
Viciedo should be 2 for 3. Instead, he's 0 for 3. But Adam, realizing that if it falls, he's going to third anyway, wisely goes back to the bag. Marlon Byrd cuts across, full out dive. Great play. And on the play, Dunn advances. So the infield is forced to come in. Good base running by Adam.
And here's Gillespie. He has fouled out to David Wright and gone out deep to Bird and Wright. That one at 96, foul straight back.
.100 pitches for Zach Wheeler.
Lagar is really short out there in center field. That's just about as short as you're going to see.
Well, usually you play at that distance when the game is on the line and you have to throw somebody out on a line drive. He must have a lot of confidence that he can go back and get him in right center field.
Lays off the breaking ball.
Our hitters, with a man at third and only one out, scored runs 70% of the time. The Mets pitchers have given up runs 45% of the time. So they are well below league average, and our hitters just a touch above.
Buck keeps it in front of him. Two and two the count. Keppinger on deck. Come on, Connor. Big run out there. Yanks that one foul. And a full count. Change up at 90.
Buck has made 3 good stops in the dirt.
Don't help him out. Ball 4, base hit. Had a good rip at it. Once again, the payoff. There's that little get me over breaking ball. Once again, the 3-2. And that's fouled. And Souvenir. Tomorrow night, Johnny Danks against Sean Markham. So make your plans to be with us here for the finale of this brief 2-game set. An off day on Thursday, then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Cleveland Indians in town on Friday. A doubleheader starting at 4 o'clock.
Sean Markham 0-9 this year. He has really had his problems.
And that is ball 4. So battling at bat for Gillespie. 3rd walk issued.
And that's going to be
Terry Collins, the skipper. He has thrown 107 pitches.
And he'll throw no more. So as Torres comes in and Wheeler goes out, we'll step out and be back after these messages.
.610. All fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by First Merit Bank. First Merit Bank, this is your year. How can we help? It's going to be an 18-minute fireworks show. So don't want to miss that. That's Wednesday, July 3rd.
There's a look at Carlos Torres, who's 0-1. The ERA, a fine 169, but he's only been in 4 previous games. On a total of 5 1/3 with just 2 hits. He inherits runners at the corners, only 1 out, and he inherits a 1-run deficit.
Carlos, originally our property. So here's Keppinger. He started with us in 04 and let him go in 2010. And he went to Japan. Keppinger 0 for 2. He's going out to right and grounded to short. McGarris still very short out there in center field. That evens the count at 1. Bottom of the 7th in Detroit. Angels leading the Tigers 11-5. Final now from Baltimore. Orioles beat Cleveland 6-3. And the count 1-2. Ball hit hard, caught, everybody back, 2 out.
Well, it's a very good thing that Valdespin did not take a half step back, because had he been able to trap it into a double play, but he caught it on the fly, leaving it up to Gordon Beckham.
Gordon's hit it hard twice. He's 1 for 2. Started off that 2-run 5th with a line drive single into left center field. Oh, and 1 the count. It's even. And advantage goes to Beckham. 2 balls and a strike. Bottom of the 6th in Kansas City. Royals and the Atlanta Braves tied at 3. Top of the 9th down in Miami. Marlins leading Minnesota 4-2. Two and 2 the count.
Albert Flowers has been up twice, been on twice, home run, and then got his jersey grazed, scored the go-ahead run in the 5th.
That's going to be in seats for a souvenir. Top of the 6th in Milwaukee. Brewers leading the Cubs 6-3. Top of the 9th in the Bronx. Rangers and the Yankees are tied at 3. There's a high fly ball. Bird going to have a play. The foul ground makes it. So we blow an opportunity to add on. We'll go to the 7th, leading 4-3. As Chris Sale has walked one and has 12 strikeouts if you're just tuning in. So here is Josh Satin. 1 for 2, an RBI single in the first. Chopper back through the middle, knocking in David Wright, and a strikeout. Breaking ball, no.
Chris, in 96 innings this year, has 103 strikeouts. And he caught a break there, but being around the plate most of the night, he'll get close pitches.
That changeup misses low and away. Josh Satin went to Cal State Berkeley, where he majored in political science. And a full count. Ball hit hard. Look at the play by Alexei on his fanny. Yes. That ball was absolutely scalded.
You're not going to hit him much harder than this. It's a one hopper. And Alexei was giving a little ground. But he's able to get up and throw him out easily at first.
So here's Buck 0 for 2 with a couple of punch outs. Breaking ball strike. Watch out. Well, being very slender as Chris is has disadvantages and advantages, and that's one of them. Of course, the other side of that page, if he does get hit because he's so slender, it's going to hurt a little more. As here is Andrew Brown, a strikeout and a homer.
2 hitters and 2 rockets this inning. Sale has thrown a couple of fastballs that have been hit hard.
And that's foul. Thank you.
Well, it's a miniature. The real one's a whole lot bigger. But it's a trophy nonetheless.
Brown's homer leading off the 5th was into right center field. Curveball strike. And a count 0-2.
Matt Lindstrom loosening up in a hurry.
Pitch number 91. Now we're at 95, up and in.
Some big problems in the first. Other than that, not too many problems. Especially when you consider 12 strikeouts, but only 1 walk.
All right, just rack him up. 7th inning stretch. Chris Sale leads it 4-3. Four runs on 4 hits for us, 3 runs on 4 hits for them here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Right-hander, former Sox right-hander, Carlos Torres on the bump. Of course, I remember Carlos when he was with us. He did something that we really needed at the time. That was back in '09 at Wrigley Field against the Cubs in that big series. When he won the ball game, he went 7 scoreless innings for us, and we needed him to do it, and he did it. Carlos was a nice young man, 30 years old now. But we have Flowers, then back to the top of the order with Diaza and Alexei to face him. Tyler has scored twice, once on a homer, the other when he was just grazed his jersey by a pitch. They had 2 in the first, we had 1 in the first. We tied it with 1 in the third. They took the lead 1 in the fifth, and then we scored 2 in the fifth. That breaking ball hit slicing, but Bird is there.
Bird's had a good night in right field.
He's an interesting case study when you talk about a guy who went to Georgia Tech on a football scholarship, had a severe calf injury. They were thinking about amputating his leg. That's how bad it was. But there were 3 successful surgeries, and in rehab he gained weight almost up to 300 pounds. And then got back into baseball after a couple of years, and poof. It's been a pretty dadgum good player, especially under those circumstances. As here's Diaza. Alejandro 1 for 3 with a run scored, a stolen base, and an RBI. So Alejandro has had a good night. David Wright in the grass at third. Outfield short, swung around to the left. And there's a strike. Very quickly, 0-2. First of 2 with these guys, first of 9 on this homestand. Ground ball up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. So good speed aboard.
Alejandro stole a bag in the first inning, later scored, and you figure they're going to be going here.
So here's Alexei. He's grounded to short, but that got the job done because Alejandro singled and stole second. That ground ball got him over to third. Then he walked in the third, had a sacrifice fly in the fifth. Gap out there in right center field. Just a decent lead by Diaza.
3 for 3 in stolen bases tonight. It was off the combination of Wheeler and Buck.
First pitch, strike. Alexei with that RBI now has 15 on the season. That was his good move. And easily back in was Alejandro. Jams him, eats him up. And Satin takes charge, makes the catch for out number 2. And you can bring your family to the ballpark for our all-new Family Sundays presented by the University of Chicago Medicine Comer Children's Hospital. Tickets start as low as $5 and parking is just $10. Former players from the 1983 team will be in attendance, and activities for kids include pregame player autographs, postgame run around the bases, weather permitting. And the White Sox and Comer Children's Hospital teaming up to promote a healthy lifestyle and combat childhood obesity. So WhiteSox.com or 866-SOX-GAME. First pitch strike to Rios. Alex 0 for 3. With an RBI. He was Zach Wheeler's only strikeout.
Wheeler went 5 1/3. He gave up all 4 runs scored tonight on 4 hits with 3 walks and that lone Rio strikeout.
Near the chopper up the middle. He plants, pegs, and just does get him. So we'll go to the 8th, leading by 1.
Good up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, spanned 12, walked only 1. Chris's career high in strikeouts, 15, back on May 28th last year at Tampa Bay. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves.
That pitch swung on by Lagares. He was 0 for 2, a strikeout and a grounder to third. Change up. Sort of gave that one away a little bit. He's had a good one tonight. 12 strikeouts. Off the end of the bat with a breaking pitch. 1 down. And you can schedule Southpaw for your birthday party, wedding, holiday party, festival, or block party. To have Southpaw visit your next event, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com/southpaw. Quintanilla has popped to short and grounded out 3-1.
He's trying to bunt his way on, but to no avail. Jesse Crain loosening up in the bullpen.
Another breaking ball strike and the count 0-2.
If he strikes out Quintanilla, every one of the Mets will have fanned at least once. And they have, and he does.
He gone.
Sweeping breaking ball, number 13. And a good stop by Tyler Flowers as he shifts his weight, keeps the ball in front of him, and then makes the play easily.
So here's Eric Young, a double, a strikeout. Then he tried to bunt.
Now in a one-run game, Gillespie is much closer to third base than he was in that first inning when he doubled down the line.
You don't want to walk this guy. And the count 3-0. Come back and get him.
Valdespin in the on deck circle.
Walks the wrong man.
He stole the base in the first inning. With Chris now at the 104 pitch mark.
And he's probably going to steal a base here in the 8th inning. He has been thrown out 4 times as here comes Coop.
Pinch hitting is Zach Lutz. This is his first at bat. He was a guy called from the minor leagues. Instead of, as expected, Ike Davis. But they figure Lutz, swinging from the right side, will face all the left-handers when need be. That's what he did at Las Vegas, which is a great place to hit.
Outfielder deep, straight up, spread out. Big hack by Zach. His dad, Yogi, is the head baseball coach at Alvernia College in Pennsylvania. Close. Could have got it. Should have got it. Didn't get it. Just a decent lead. There's strike 2. So 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he'll probably be off on this pitch. Short lead though. He does. He's going one way there, right back to the bag. He does not go. He's upset with himself.
Yeah, tried the backdoor breaking ball, and he realized that's a pitch where if you get it over the plate, especially with what Ron Culpa has given him, he's going to get him. He just can't get it over the plate. You see Chris very animated.
That's sitting dead red and gets the changeup, pops it up. Beckham is there, makes the catch, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the eighth, still with a 4-3 lead.
Edgin. He's 0-1 on for the 18th time. Opponent's hitting .305, which is a very high number. And he inherits a one-run deficit. Kirk Neuenhuis in left field. And Eric Young shifts over to second base.
So here's Adam. Adam has walked, gone out deep to left center, and doubled down into the right field corner. Two 2-0 the count. And that is out of play. So Edgin won the state championship in wrestling as a junior in prep school and finished 4th in the national competition. That's pretty stout.
David Aardsma, who's been around with a number of different teams, loosening in the pen.
Breaking ball chopped over into the Met dugout. pick up one or two more boys. And there's a souvenir left side.
And to nail it down, Addison Reed throwing in the pen.
Our new 16-year-old lookalike.
Addison will be going after save number 22.
Angels leading the Tigers 14-5, top of the ninth inning in Detroit. He did not go. So there's the leadoff walk. And here comes Tank.
Here's our AT&T Uverse replay, and it's the last time that Viciata was up in the sixth. That's an outstanding play by Marlon Byrd. It looked like might have been a double, but Byrd had other ideas. Find out what's possible with products and services from AT&T. Rethink possible.
Got in on him with that fastball. And that one at 94, up and in. 1-1 to count. Just off the corner. 2 balls and a strike. And for those guys in the ninth, it'll be Wright, Byrd, and Satin, the third, fourth, and fifth place hitters, just like Abner designed it. Ate him up inside, and he turned it. Good turn right there by Eric Young.
Not a real good throw from Wright. And Young, who started this game in left field, shows you a little like his dad. He can play a little second base. Gets out of the way of the big man sliding in to try to get him, and turns 2.
So here's Gillespie, 0 for 2 with a base on balls. Gap out there in right center. Big one. Breaking ball strike.
Chris Sale will have gone a full 8 innings, giving up 3 runs on only 4 hits. Walked 2, fanned 13. Big night tonight for Chris.
That fastball fouled away left side. So the count is 1-2 to Gillespie. Kansas City hitting in the bottom of the 8th, trailing the Atlanta Braves 4-3. Broken bat. So he walks the leadoff man, throws the double play ball, gets the ground out. We're into the ninth. 4-3, good guys. new low yearly prices. Watch every out-of-market game live over 350 supported mobile and connected devices in HD quality. So visit MLB TV to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere.
Edison Reed comes into the game. He's 2-0, ERA 3.18. On for the 33rd time, looking for save number 22, and this is 24th attempt. Jordan Danks comes in the game defensively in center, sliding Alejandro Diaz over to left.
Right fouls the first pitch, right side. David has walked, scored, and struck out twice. Chases it up there, and the count 0-2.
And that's where Wright will consistently chase it.
Another high fastball.
Tonight's game is available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting and is provided by 97.5 FM ESPN Deportes, Chicago's first and only FM Spanish language sports radio station.
They want it up there again. Right, 12 homers, 41 knocked in. And starts it off. Finally gets an off-speed pitch and hammers it in to center field for the single.
Wright got a hanging slider, and he stole a base back in the first inning also. The first hit of the night, that hanging slider right down the middle. He takes it right back up the middle. And that's a tying run at first base.
And here's Marlon Byrd. Couple of strikeouts and a sacrifice fly. Short lead. Ball is ripped foul.
Byrd has grounded into 3 double plays this year. Not a high total in 201 at bats. Outfield very deep all the way around. Playing a no double set. Gillespie right on the line at third.
And very quickly 0-2 the count to him.
One of their leading run producers, Lucas Duda, was put on the disabled list. So that left-handed bat not available to Terry Collins.
A little bigger lead now by Wright. He takes off. Picks up his 14th stolen bases in 15 attempts.
Not a good throw as Flowers one-hops it. And on a one-hop throw, you have to come up with the glove. And when you come up with the glove, most likely the man is going to be sliding under the tag.
He gone. Big out.
Went to the high heat, and he threw a fastball right by him, up and out of the zone. Third straight time Bird has gone down on strikes, all swinging.
So here's Josh Satin. He's 1 for 3. Had that RBI single back in the first inning, knocking in David Wright, who had stolen second base. Takes ball 1. Catcher John Buck on deck. And the count evens at 1. That one at 94. Four runs, 5 hits, no errors for our Sox. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for their Mets. Big pitch right here, the 1-1. That ball hit into right center field. Jordan is there, makes the catch. Yes. 2 down.
Jordan Diggs gets a tremendous jump on a ball slicing away from him into the alley. And he's able to take it away. Inside out swing. You see Jordan getting a quick jump to his left and able to run it down. Big play.
And he made it for that play right there. Look comparatively easy.
Now Murphy's going to come out to pinch hit for Buck. Murphy, who didn't start because he's had some problems certainly with the left-handers. He's 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year, but hitting .271 overall.
Daniel Murphy. Has some good at-bats against us at Citi Field. Pops him up. Gillespie. And now Beckham. And we find another way. Yet another way. That's hard to believe.
I'm not sure what Gordon Beckham was doing there, as Connor Gillespie had that ball all the way, and Beckham came up over the mound to the third base side, and the ball just dropped. And just like that, it goes E4. Chris Sale cannot win. This is a very easy play for Connor Gillespie, who's calling for it all the way. And one of the things that Addison Reed has to do there is act as the traffic cop.
Oh, you got to be bleeping me. You have got to be this.
Gordon picks up his 6th error of the year.
Oh, and 1 to count to Brown. Lord have mercy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Crown homered in the 5th inning. His first ball fastball from Chris Sale.
The 1-2 pitch. You got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th.
Big air as the Troy Hawkins comes into the game. Hawkins at 2-0, ERA a little above 3.5 on for the 32nd time. His control has been good, giving up 4 home runs in 30 2/3 innings, and he'll face the bottom part of the order. And Recker comes in behind the plate. Anthony Recker.
So that'll be Keppinger, Beckham, and Flowers. Four, 5, and 1 for us. 4, 5, and 0 for them. And if Chris Sale didn't have any bad luck, he wouldn't have any luck at all. This is unbelievable. Keppinger is 0 for 3. Takes first pitch strike. Ground ball up the middle. So that'll be a base hit. Leadoff man aboard. Beckham 1 for 3 with a single, stolen base, and a run scored. That'll get the job done. Throw it away, bubble. Yes.
Sacrifice E1. Hawkins comes over and just misses it.
Now meeting of minds at the mound. Tyler, that homer leading off the third inning, hit by a pitch and scored in the fifth, went out to right, leading off the seventh. Sattin on the grass at first, as is Wright at third. Outfield shading him to the right. Huge gap out there in left center. Keppinger and Beckham. Nobody out here in a 4-4 tie, bottom of the ninth inning. One and one to count. Joe McEwen going through his signs. And we'll see what Robbins thinks of Flowers' ability to bunt.
Well, not asking him to bunt to this point because he hasn't bunted this year.
That's the reason the count is 1-1. And now it's 1-2. Come on, Tyler. Well, we've seen Tyler try to bunt. I don't blame him.
Nope. Don't ask somebody to do something he can't.
That's exactly right. Close. Good eye. Ground ball, up with it, bobbles it a little bit. Now they can't turn it. The bobble cost them.
Stanton bobbled it, but I'm not thinking that LaTroy, who was a spectator here, can get to first base in time. He breaks slowly. He's not going to be able to get there in time without a bobble. So this has not been one of his better efforts. Dan Warthen now comes out because you do have a guy who can bunt and a tough guy to double in Diaza.
So now Ron Culpa out. Got to expedite matters. So here we go. One out, runners at the corners. And now everybody comes in close. Except Lagares, he is always there. Takes that fastball high and wide.
And at third, first and third with one out. Our hitters have scored 75% of the time. Their pitchers have given up runs 74% of the time. Situation shapes up well above league average.
Yeah, it's a 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. And Hawkins catches a big break right there.
This pitch off the corner gets the benefit of the call.
And a big pitch coming up. Two down. So it's up to Alexei.
Stanton is probably going to tell him he's going to play behind Tyler Flowers because they're going to concede second base. He's a non-entity in this one.
Alexei is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Takes first pitch strike. And there's a shot. Base hit! Yes! Yes! Clevenger scores and the Sox win it 5-4. Mercy! Just on the line down the left field line.
Chris Guccione right on the line, and the second run batted in for Ramirez. Hawkins tries to get this fastball inside. It's straight as a string and a game ender. Fair by a good 2-3 inches and just enough.
So the Sox have a devastating top of the ninth inning. Come back with a run and win it 5-4, and we'll be back.